as an adult, knowing what you've learned in the last bunch of years about hitting, do you feel like you've regrets about the way you were taught as a kid?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, we've talked about this. When I was a kid, the big thing was like hit down on the ball to create backspin and then finish high, which like when I learned it, it kind of made sense. I didn't really know any better.
Like, hey, Andrew, hit some ground balls at second base and then run really hard.
Yeah.
And then give yourself a pat on the back.
And like, so I was like, oh yeah, like I'll hit it, I'll put backspin on it, that'll make it carry. It makes total sense. But then once you get a little bit older, you start learning more about like physics, and like when you get older, it's better to try to like match the plane of the pitch, give yourself a bigger window for success. That makes a lot more sense than trying to like chop down on it. Now that I'm older and I kind of know more about biomechanics and physics, like I have a better swing than I did when I was younger. So theoretically, if I would have known all this when I was in high school or college, I think I would have been a better hitter, or at least would have had more power, because I understand how to generate power and like the proper bat path to be able to drive the ball. Because really all I could do when I was in high school and college was kind of hit really hard ground balls straight into the ground, or just kind of backspinny, poopy line drives that didn't really go anywhere, which looking back is a little frustrating. But the good news is now I know all this stuff and I can kind of help my clients get better.
Yeah.
So they don't have the same mistakes that I made.
It's funny, when I was playing, I guess like my second or third year of summer ball in college, we had a big pitcher's BP day, which was very exciting. And I asked one of my teammates, I'm like, how do I get good backspin? Like, you have good backspin. Tell me the secret. He's like, well, you got to swing down the ball. And I was like, that sounds dumb. I'm not going to do that. And then I went up there and I continued to like hit very top spinny balls to left, because that's just like, I wasn't a hitter at that point. But I got 2 out, I think. But I was just like, that seems dumb. And then it's nice to know that 20 years later, we've all been vindicated. That swing was dumb. It was dumb the whole time.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because, I was taught swing down at the ball when I was in middle school and high school. This is back in like the 90s, early 2000s. Meanwhile, Ted Williams had been talking about stuff like plane matching and swinging with a slight uppercut.
Teddy ball game.
Years ago, like back in the 40s. That was his thing. And somehow this advice from Ted Williams, which was 100% correct, just kind of got buried, and everybody got on this whole swing down on the ball idea. Which is kind of surprising, because if you know anything about science, it just doesn't make any sense to swing down on it.
I don't know anything about science.
But even if you did, it just doesn't make any sense. All you can really do is, like I said, you can hit a really hard ground ball straight down into the ground, or you can strike a glancing blow to the ball and it goes nowhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty infuriating.